What would be your one policy you'd implement in Texas if you could? A carbon tax? No. Incentive for clean dispatchable resources. There has to be some ambitious policy post IRA. What is it? So I would think probably half this group can probably guess what I'll say, which would be a real focus on getting rid of resistance heat and putting in high efficiency heat pumps. And I'd like to see that done with market-based solutions where we actually have some price discovery, where it's not just like pick a price and pay this incentive. We don't know, are we paying too much? Are we paying too little? Introduce some competition into the demand side. But I'm supposed to be the moderator. Y'all want to say anything about that?
I'll echo your point. I agree with you. I think the resistance heating or just inefficient heating in general in the mass market space is a serious issue that we see in risk management and load forecasting and stuff like that. And so I agree completely.
And it very much relates to what we were talking about earlier with like shape load, perfectly eject energy optimally. Like you're not shaping load perfectly. If in the wintertime, a house is using 10 kW and an apartment's using 5 kW all through the night, like we're not shaping that load. And it's those peaks that we've got to be able to manage to be able to bring data centers and all kinds of other stuff on. Panel's outlook is pretty bearish about demand growth in ERCOT, but bullish on the technological innovations on the supply side. Will the technology be deployed without the demand?
I think so. That's what ERCOT's known for. Back to that earlier comment that I still stand by from 2023.
Right.
ERCOT's a right place for experimenting with products and technology and testing how a market responds. I think as we introduce new price signals, we'll start testing other ways new technologies behave with the RTC plus B. What does that do? Does that introduce new technical innovation? But I think we continue to be really right for that.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone's bearish load growth. I mean, load growth is already here, right? And so, I mean, the existing infrastructure is aging. Load growth has happened. There's questions about how much future load growth there will be, which I think are valid given the state of the interconnection queue. But yeah, I wanted to push back on bearish load growth.
Yeah, I think that like the projections are 100% increase by 5 years or something crazy. So, I mean, I think that it's the relative nature of it is maybe where we should backtrack the pace of this, but the growth is still going to be very, very, very high relatively. So I wouldn't say the outlook is bearish.
Yeah, I would go back to the first point I made, which is we think more about 2040 than 2030. We are going to continue building technology to drive price down and reliability up. And what happens next year and the following year matters, but is not really where we're focused. We're making long-term bets. And I think my hope is that other technology companies take the same approach because that has worked out really well in other industries.